Hello, Superintendent Kelly Bielefeld here. Today we're talking about school closures and school consolidations and trying to clear up any misconceptions that might be out there about the decisions that we have to make when it comes to this. We understand and recognize that there's emotions tied to the school buildings. It's really important to know, though, that multiple factors go into these decisions. It's not just the condition of the buildings. We also consider our limited facility budget, declining student enrollment, student building size, location of the buildings, changing neighborhoods, and the number of staff vacancies across the district. It's important to understand the operational efficiencies that we can gain by doing this. So I wanted to share an example today of how this actually works in the real world, so to speak. So we have two elementary schools here that are lower enrollment. So maybe there's 250 students in each of these schools. What we have is we have a principal, we have an administrative assistant, and we have some teachers in a grade level. But what we're unable to do is staff it with a full-time school nurse. So what happens is the nurse has to divide between two different schools. So a few days a week at this school, a few days a week at this school. Same thing with the instructional coach, same thing with the school psychologist, a social worker, a lot of those sorts of roles in the system. So let's just play this out. Let's say the nurse is at school B for the day. So who does that job at school A? Well, it's probably the administrative assistant that has to come do that job. Well, now who does that job? It's probably the principal. It can be really, really taxing on a school if we don't have some of those redundancies. If the principal happens to be gone for something, it's probably a lead teacher that steps into that role because there's no assistant principal in this school. So what we have found is if we take these two schools and we put it into a bigger school, not bigger class size, but a bigger school as far as the number of students in it, we can have a principal, and then we can have both of our administrative assistants. This creates some redundancy. If one of them happens to be gone, there's someone else there to help. We can also staff it with an assistant principal so that when if the principal needs to be gone, there's an assistant principal in their place. We also have 3 teachers at this school at, let's just say, second grade, and then 2 teachers at this school in second grade. Well, and we can still maintain relatively, our class size minimums of 22 to 20 students in a second grade with these 4 teachers. And then we have another teacher who can go fill a role, a vacancy in the district that's somewhere else, a different grade level or a different school. We can combine our nurses so that our nurse, we have a full-time nurse, and then we can also have other roles that don't have to be divided between different schools. So a reading interventionist, a school psychologist, a social worker. The feedback that we get from our teachers is that these roles are critically important to student success. By combining the 2 schools into the one larger school, we can create operational efficiencies for the district. This creates a better experience for both the students and the staff. Students have access to a full-time nurse, full-time social worker if they have those needs. Staff have the ability to have some redundancy within the building. And so by doing this, we're not only more efficient, we create a better model of learning for everyone involved. So just to be clear, we are not doing away with neighborhood schools. Our Board of Education remains committed to having neighborhood schools across Wichita. But as our neighborhoods evolve, our neighborhood schools have to evolve with them. Neighborhoods change, and as a result, our schools will change with them. But as I've demonstrated today, through some of these consolidations, we can have better schools that are better staffed and better resourced, which creates a better learning experience for kids all across Wichita.